Welcome to the Authentically Elisa podcast, Reshaping Business with Integrity, the podcast where we explore how to run your business authentically and with integrity. I'm your host, Elisa Bogarts, a business coach and launch manager, helping coaches launch their programs and events that align with their business values. Together, we'll uncover the secrets to building a successful business without sacrificing morals, ethics, authenticity, or heart. Let's dive in. So let's dive into today's episode. Today, we're going to be talking about getting a little bit of extra cash at the end of each month and how you can get that done. And today, my guest is Albert Corey. Albert Corey of Corey and Associates has helped over 35,500 families and business owners unlock financial success. With over 40 years of experience and his profit maximizer system, he transforms tax confusion into predictable profits. Trusted across industries, Albert empowers startups to scale and succeed. Welcome, Albert. So good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us about how you got into this field of work and just why you're so passionate about it.
Well, it's so funny. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah.
So it was back in the Stone Ages in about 1984. I was working with my parents. We had motels and real estate. And I was a guy who got paid cash. I didn't know what a W-2, anything. Until one day, my mother comes up to me and goes, Albert, yeah, Mom, you're the IRS. I go, huh? Who? What's that? Yeah, get your checkbook. You owe. Well, that put me on a mission to figure it out. And that was 40 years ago and 160,000 clients we just passed this year.
Wow. Congratulations. That's huge. Amazing. So it all started with that. All of a sudden you owed a bunch of money and you're like,
Why? Yes.
Yes. What is going on? I know that actually a lot of entrepreneurs hit that. Even people in my family, with my family, the first time that they did their business on their own and they didn't think about, they're just like, woo, look at all this cash I'm getting in. And they never thought to squirrel away some for taxes. And then all of a sudden they got this giant bill the following year. And they're like, wait a second, I owe you how much? And it was usually like tens of thousands of dollars. And it was always a big shock. So I remember learning from them when I started my own business, being like, okay, every month I'm just going to put a little to this.
But you know why a lot of people owe? This is what I talk about on the business stages all over the country, is you got to get somebody to know all the deductions. You got to get somebody who can understand. We've worked with everything from actors to truck drivers to lizard ranchers. So I understand almost every business. There's not a whole lot of businesses that I can't go toe to toe understanding. So whenever you're doing your returns, make sure you go to somebody who can understand what you do, because most people don't understand what you do. I see that every day when I make extra money during the off season, fixing returns that people just don't know what they're doing, or they go to the wrong guy. Should be the answer.
Right. Yeah. Interesting. So how do you think that we can reshape business to be more in integrity?
I think part of integrity would be is you got to get people to help you. You got to get experts.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like, why do your own QuickBooks? Get somebody to do it for you. See, integrity always means is you got to be educated. You understand though? And educated means is, we have rental income and, I don't go on roofs and fix the roofs. You get people to help you to do it.
Yeah.
You might eventually have to learn a little bit how to fix the roof just because the guy's not going to rip you off, but I'm not out there, using a hammer to fix it. You just got to be a little bit more educated so you can understand it. The more integrity you do, the better client you're going to get. You're going to start attracting the right clients because you're going to start treating them right. See, right. I think most people lose clients because they don't treat them right. I think that's the number one thing in integrity. And tell the clients that if you owe them money, well, guess what? That's what you owe. I can't help it. And you got to be able to say, as somebody taught me years ago, you got to be able to fire clients. And I fired a bunch. What's that?
Elaborate on that. You got to be able to fire clients.
Well, a client was I had last year somebody paid me $20,000. But it was a pain in the butt, always saying we do it wrong, you don't know what you're doing. Then I told him, bye, get out. I don't need your money. $20,000. I told
Wow.
him, have a nice day. I don't need you. Go find the next guy because I don't need your money. I don't need the headache. I don't
Yes.
need him whining, complaining. It's just not worth my time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive into what you wanted to talk about today and give us the tips on how someone can, get a little bit more extra cash at the end of
Well,
the month.
part of one way to keep extra cash in a month is you got to know your dates. The IRS has like 4 dates you got to know.
Okay.
That once you know the dates, it's simple. When you know the dates, you're not paying late charges. It's not putting extra money in your pocket. You're not paying extra, you're not paying late charges for not filing your tax returns, or even not even paying the minimum on your credit cards. Because if you don't pay that
Right.
credit card on time, they're gonna whack you with extra money. So isn't that put money in your pocket because you're not paying late charges
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
doing your stuff
absolutely.
on time? Everything that you're late on is going to cost you. So don't be late.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great tip. Don't be late. Know your dates and stick to them and do what you got to do beforehand as well, I would say, especially if it's, to do with, say, your taxes or something. If there's any work you got to do beforehand, remind
Right.
yourself of that too. So like there's a reminder for the date that is due, but also, give yourself some time to do it first. Remind yourself to start
Uh,
working on it beforehand. Yeah, absolutely. What's another tip?
I would say a couple of things is go through your things. One of the biggest things I will tell people is I don't know about you, but I got really hooked on using a lot of apps because I do a lot of my social media stuff because I think it's fun.
Mm,
So make sure you keep going through all your apps that if you're not using them, same thing with GoDaddy. If you're not using, go kill them. Because guess what? It's going to sneak up on you. Credit card's going to get dinged. And a lot of these people are, you don't, it's like I had one a couple of weeks ago that it was $60 I haven't used in a year. But, but because a lot of these people, either you've changed the email or they're a little bit sneaky. You understand though? And they're gonna ding your card. So if you're not using apps, go through your phone, um, go through your bills, and if you don't think you're gonna use it, cut it off.
how often do you recommend for people to review their apps and their subscriptions and all that?
That's hard. I mean, almost every month, I would say,
Yeah,
because
every
stuff
month
is
is
gonna
more
come
than
due.
right.
One of the tricks that I learned to do is on GoDaddy. On GoDaddy, just go through. I don't know about you, but at one point I had 400 domain names.
Did you?
Yeah. But
Wow.
guess what? But if I wasn't using a third of them or half. So go through your domain names. And if you have, listen, in my world, if you haven't done anything with that domain name by now, 2 years, 3 years later, you ain't doing it. So go
Yep.
in and take off the auto pay, right? Take off the auto pay so you're not getting dinged.
Yeah, and
Even on
also,
your iPhone. Even I don't know if you have an iPhone or not, but
yep.
on your iPhone, go into the, where you do the payments on, where it has the auto pay on your iPhone. Go in there now and go through and audit your stuff. And if you're not using that, you click the cancel. So when the cancel comes up, it's not charging you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great idea. And speaking about the domain names as well, like, yeah, you're right. It was probably some great idea that you had a few years ago, something you might wanted to do. So you snagged the domain name just so no one
Right.
else could take it. And also realize, I think with the domain names as well, usually, the first year is the 1 cent or the $1, whatever
Right.
it might be. But when it renews, it's probably going to bump up to
Oh,
18.99 or
GoDaddy.
24.99 or something
Right.
like that.
GoDaddy's now that $1, 1 cent domain name. Because I always buy 3 years because that's usually cheaper. But on the fourth year, it's $30. So
Right.
why you want to give Donut? Why do you want to give GoDaddy $30 for something that you're not even using?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's such a good reminder of that. Yeah, actually, I had the other day was I was using um an account, and it was like an e-commerce site, and it was like the first thing that I kind of used at the very beginning of my business, and then I kind of stopped using it, but I had a free account, so I didn't cancel it, so I didn't really think about it. And then something happened where all of a sudden they started sending me like invoices, but they were always $0. And I was like, why are they sending this to me? This is silly. So then I started getting emails from them about like, oh, they're upgrading stuff. I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. Didn't really read the emails. And then there was one where they were very sneaky about it, where like kind of buried within the paragraph talked about um, we've migrated your plan over and we chose the plan that we think is best suited for you based on your history. You can see the plans here, but they never told me which plan they gave me and how much it was going to cost. Now, this is something I hadn't used in years, and they put me on the highest tier that was $250 a month. So the next month, I get this invoice and I look at my, and again, I ignored the invoice because they've always been $0 up until then. And I look on my credit card and I see this charge and I was like, what is this? And then I went and looked on my account and was like shocked that they had put me on the highest tier of something I hadn't used in so long. So I did, I emailed them and I got my money back and they refunded me
Can
and I
I
canceled my
can I
account.
give you another
But
little tip on that? Sorry. Can I give you
yeah,
another little tip? If you're paying online, I'm going to tell you use an Amex card
okay. Why is that?
because as somebody, I have a retail tax store here. Amex is the type of company that if you go boo, that's why a lot of people stop taking Amex because if you go boo, the merchant lost. There's no way a merchant can beat Amex. It's
Oh,
literally impossible unless you really got heavy documentation. But all in online stuff, you go into disputes, you click the button, and it's gone.
right. Yeah. I was very lucky that they did and they did respond to me and they canceled my account and they did it. But my point of my bringing up that story was that to always read the emails and check things and look at links because they did tell me, but it wasn't explicit, and so that would just be my little tip to
Can I tell
always
you
be
one
checking.
little tip that
Yeah,
I got to get better at?
what's
You
that?
need to use one credit card. Because like me, I have left spread over a bunch of cards. So sometimes when like that Spotify or whatever it was, I had to think, I don't remember which credit card it popped on. So I had to now go through my 6 credit cards. But if I kept it on one or two, you understand, on that Amex, like I truly believe in, I would have said, okay, well, Amex popped up. I got the pop up that I had to pay it. I would have went and said, come here. No, I didn't want to renew it. That's
Right.
I try to stick to one credit card
Mm. Yeah, good idea. Good
and
idea.
never a debit card.
Yes, never a debit card. And something that just kind of popped in my mind, as coaches and entrepreneurs, we often offer subscription services as well. And so when we talk about running business with integrity, be that good entrepreneur, be that good coach, be that good business owner to remind people of their subscription renewals. Because I
Right.
think that's something that I always very much appreciate when I get an email, especially if it's something that's yearly. Like I just got an Adobe one yesterday being like, hey, your Adobe yearly subscription is doing in a month's time. So then I actually could, and I took the time to think, being like, okay, how much did I
I
use
get
that service in the last year? Do I want to pay that much? The prices, so I could actually think
right.
about it, whether I wanted to cancel or not. So if we're going to be within integrity, I think is best for us to also, let people
Give
know that
way
this charge is
advance
coming up.
notices.
Mm-hmm.
I would give if I don't want to have any issues,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doing yearly, I would be a 2 months lead time
Oh, nice. Yeah.
warning. So then now you can't tell, okay, well, I didn't know. You give them 2 months warning that you're
Yep.
going to auto renew.
Yep. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Now there's no excuse. Well, I didn't know.
Amazing. Amazing. Any other tips for getting a little bit of cash at the end of the month?
Um, don't do your own stuff. I mean, another thing I speak on the business stages is just a simple survey. I figure out that the average business owner makes a minimum of $200 an hour. Do you agree? Minimum.
Yeah.
Probably higher,
Sure.
but let's use small numbers. So QuickBooks says that it takes you between 4 and 10 hours a month to do your own QuickBooks, to do QuickBooks. So let's say 5 hours. 5 hours is $1,000.
Yep.
So the another thing I learned about business owners, they always complain they don't have enough time,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
Or they don't have enough money. So if you outsource the bookkeeping, like our office would probably do it for $175 a month. So you now have 4 hours to go hang out with your family, or the same 4 hours to make more than the $200 you would pay me a month.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because you would
And
have,
that's my thinking.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cause you don't actually see the transaction of $1,000 going out, but it is actually costing you that same
Cost you
time.
4 hours.
Yeah.
5 hours, that's $1,000. But it's not the
Hmm.
$1,000. You could have spent time with your family
Yep.
or
Yep.
do nothing if you have no kids, no boyfriend, no nothing. Just sit and watch football games. But at least, you're not, oh shit, checking my bank statements and have to entering them and running the, no. Why do you want to do that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, when you think about that, how much time is it taking? And also, if it's something that you just do not like doing, like not everybody loves the bookkeeping, just think about the stress that that's putting on you and think about how you dread it and procrastinate it. And then you might, going back to your first tip, you might miss the dates and then you'll get charged extra
Well,
penalties and things like that.
it's not even that. Most people see QuickBook. I mean, those people run into two camps. Camp number one, they're doing it. They're disciplined, and I see those all the time, income statements. And camp number two doesn't even bother doing. I mean, I got clients making 400,000 a year, and they don't even bother. I have to send them my worksheet to fill out to do their stuff. And I'm
Right.
saying, like, wait a minute, you're making 300, 250,000. You can't give me or get somebody. I mean, we only get 150 to $200 a month, but they know it's too expensive. I'm saying, well, then they try to figure it out themselves. They put chicken scratch, and I know it's chicken scratch because we've been doing it so long. But they don't
Right.
want to spend because they never budget or they never thought about it.
Yeah. So bring it into your budget and have this be part of one of your
Right,
OpEx expenses to get someone to do it for you at
right.
100%. Yeah. Yeah. Well, this has been excellent. So they definitely got some great tips today about, well, there's one about, we were just talking about get people to help you. And we talked about knowing your dates, so when those sort of tax deadlines are, when you're going to have to pay your taxes, when, so that those returns are due, also when your credit cards are due and all that types of stuff, any sort of payments so that you can get them paid on time so you don't incur any fees. Go through your on a monthly basis, put a little reminder in your calendar and go through your subscriptions and go through your apps and go through your domains and see what's out
Right.
there that perhaps you could,
Cut them off.
if you're not using them anymore, don't pay for them.
Right.
And then finally we also talked about, well, if you actually provide a subscription service, to be in integrity and to give your clients 2 months notice of when, if it's annual, of when your subscription will be renewing for them, so they too can decide if they want to stay with you or not. But I think that if you are in integrity and you're giving a great service, they'll likely stay on with you and appreciate the 2 month reminder.
Right.
So where can our listeners find you online, and also tell us about the gifts that you have?
So you can find everything online if you go to, so if I get my finger, bettercallalbert.com. We'll have everything there for a consultation to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And would you like a tip how you can increase your profits and under your nose? You
Yes.
can go to coreybiz.com
Thank
and
you.
you'll get our 52-week email list, 52 weeks, plus the 8 tips written out for you that you can print out and, like a little checklist.
Oh, awesome. Very handy. Great. Thank you so much for that. And to finish off, do you have any final words of wisdom?
I'd say, don't do it alone. I've been doing this for 40 years and I started out with $10 passing out flyers. So, the story I hear every time, and I speak on stages, if you want to go, you want to go slow, do it alone. If you want to go quick, hire it, get around smart people. Don't be afraid to go and spend money and go to events. And success is a contact sport. And the more you contact, the more your wallet's going to grow. So go out and contact. And you have to go VIP. That's the number one way to grow your business because the people who go VIP are going to be your clients and collaborators because
Right.
they want to go forward. The people go general mission and sit in the back. They're no, and I'm not trying to knock anybody, but they don't want to do anything to move forward. That's why you got to go VIP because they're already, I'm going to call it double invested.
Right. Oh, thank
And
you so
everybody's double invested are there because they want to learn and grow and collaborate.
right.
General mission people, they're just there.
There you go. Be one of the people that want to grow and collaborate to go VIP. Well, thank you
Right.
so much, Albert. This has been a great interview. And thank you so much for sharing all the tips so everybody can get a little bit of extra money in their pocket every month.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope it inspired you to live a more authentic life. I'd love your help in inspiring more people to live authentically. So please follow, rate, and leave a review so we can create a ripple effect of authenticity. Until next time, stay true to you, be bold, and thrive on your own terms. This is Elisa, signing off authentically.